What's going on, guys? Plastic Beach X3 back here with another duel video. This time it's the finals of our local tournament with our first local tournament with OP02 cards. You'll see Smoker on the right and myself piloting Ivankov on the left. We're both undefeated up to this point. And I made this video go a little bit slower just because I wanted to be rather in-depth with it. Right now we're just waiting on time to start. I want to be more in-depth on it because I know the hands because I'm the one playing it. He wins the die roll and chooses to go second, which is not uncommon, and it's fine because my deck curves naturally going first. So I start with Boogie, search the top 5 for an impelt down card. And if you don't know what the Ivankov leader does, end of turn, if you have 0 cards in hand, you can draw 2. So I'm really thinking on what I want here because the reveal was so bad. The only 2 impel down cards was either New Kama Land or Aberric Brickfist. I chose Aberric Brickfist because he's curving into 4 and he could play the 4-drop Kuzan, and that card is a menace. So I picked up the Brickfist so that whenever he does do that, I can just immediately return it and set him back in tempo. On my 3 turn, I play 3-drop Dofi blocker. Look at the top 5 and put them in any order, and it's also a blocker. I really want to be able to summon Ivankov on curve, so I'm, my next card is going to be my 5 turn. If I'm thinking that he's going to be playing a Kuzan or Borso, I'm going to bounce it with Aberric Brickfist, and my next turn I'm really only going to have 3 Dawn, so I have to keep that in mind. I put the Ivankov as my second draw on top so that on 7 I have Ivankov and I already have a Crocodile in hand to play off the Ivankov. He puts 1 under, reduces Buggy, makes him a 7. I don't feel like discarding 2 cards over this, so I take it. And by the way, my hand is also just bad, I think. I have a 7-drop Dofi in there, which is just sitting there for a while. I think I have 7-drop Dofi. Maybe not. I do have the Law Blocker and a Galdino, which I hate the Law Blocker, to be honest, this format. I draw a 2K counter because I stacked my deck, and I knew this turn was just going to be a setup turn. Play Galdino for 4, and then play the Law for 1. He played a Hina, which if it kills something by battle, it restands. He goes to 6. And he's curving into a Sakazuki here, I think. Decides not to Sakazuki. Drops 5 for the Garp. Garp can suspend himself, discard a card to pop a 4 or less. He pops my Galdino. And it's probably better to not Sakazuki there, because essentially you're getting the same thing while also establishing a Garp and waiting on something bigger to hit with Sakazuki. He swings 7 on my life and I block with Law. I draw, and this is my 7 turn. I want to go Ivankov into Croc, but I have a really good opportunity here to hold off on the Ivankov until I have less cards in hand. That's one advantage. And I can get cards out of his hand by trying to kill his Garp. So I'm thinking okay, I can either go Ivankov into Crocodile and pass, swing 5 at face, or I can put 2 under Dofi, get value out of my blocker before he pops it with something. because I mean, he's just gonna pop it with Garp anyway next turn, so I might as well get value out of it now. Thinking about putting 2 under Dofi, swinging into Garp, making him discard a card, and then putting 3 under Ivankov. Swinging into Garp, making him discard either 2 cards, or I'm thinking that it's definitely, since Smoker doesn't have a lot of counter, that's definitely going to kill his Garp. So that's what I do. I swing 6 into the Garp, he discards, and to my surprise, he doesn't let the Garp go. He actually double counters out of it, drops 2 2K counters on it, which gets cards out of his hand. It's not a big deal. I just really thought that he was going to let that die. But nevertheless, I gave him a worse target with his Garp than, like, he could have just stacked a Dawn under his leader, made my Crocodile go down to 4, and then Garped it away. So now I'm essentially like making him either, so he's forced to keep his tempo up. He has to play a Sakazuki to kill, and might as well kill my Dofi. He would have preferred to like hold it until I have Ivankov so he can kill the Crocodile, but or kill a Luffy with Sakazuki and leader effect. But I forced him into hitting the worst target by swinging with my blocker. He then passes because he doesn't want his Garp to die. I guess he didn't swing with it, and it's not worth discarding a card just to kill the buggy, especially whenever it's generating him 1,000 on his leader every turn. I go to 9. I'm definitely gonna Ivankov because I need to keep up tempo with his board. I'm just thinking of any way I can like get around his cards, and there's really none. So I swing 5. He takes. I play Ivankov 7-cost character. Draw until you have 3 cards in hand, then play a 6 or less blue. So I play my 5-cost Crocodile with 7k attack. And then I have 2 Dawn up, so then I played Alvida. This was a massive misplay. He can KO pretty much anything under 5 with just his normal effects. I should have kept the 2k counter in hand. So definitely a misplay. Just imagine, to prove my point, just imagine that if I had another 2k counter in hand this whole game. To either like not take a life or just have extra. And you'll see why it really does matter that I shouldn't have played that Alvida there. He used Garp, so if he reduces with leader to make Crocodile 4, uses Garp effect to kill a 4-cost or less by discarding a card. He then plays Kobe to kill my Alvida. That's what I was talking about. I guess I did get 2 cards out of his hand, made him play the Kobe and also discard a card, but I don't think you'll see that the 2k counter actually mattered. 7 into face because he made the Crocodile 4, he didn't make the buggy 1, or 0, I mean. He has 5 Dawn standing. I decide to counter out of this one because if he just piles the 5 Dawn under, he has no cards in hand, so he has no use to keep the Dawn up. If he just piles the 5 Dawn under the Sakazuki, there's no way I'm countering out of that, so I counter while I can. Go to 10. He has no cards in hand, so I can just kill his board. Besides the Kobe and the the Kobe and the Garp. So that's what I do. I put 1 under Ivankov, swing 6 into the Garp to kill it. Swing 7 to 7 into Sakazuki with Emporio. Now I have 9 Dawn to play with. I summon another Ivankov. Yeah, I just kept doing Ivankovs. Play a blocker. And he has no cards in hand. Top decks into a, believe it or not, a 10 drop. So he 10 drops me. Fair enough. The deck plays 3, so it's bound to happen eventually. It's just crazy. It was perfect right now because if it was like a Sakazuki, he had no card to discard. But he plays a 10 drop, kills my blocker, and I'm able to counter out of his bare 5 into 5. I draw into new comma land. I play new comma land just to see what I can draw. And this is where the massive misplay happens right here. Like the misplay that cost me the game. I could have played around everything he did. If I wouldn't have played the new comma land, I just ignored my hand. If I just ignored my hand, and because he has 0 cards in hand, he can't counter out of anything right now besides with what he gets out of life. So I should have just put 3 under buggy, swing 5 into 5. He's forced to take it. Even if it is a Great Eruption or an option card that kills a 3k or less, or the option card that kills a 4k or less, or 4 cost or less, sorry. Even if I swing 5 into leader and he hits that card, my buggy already swung, so he's dead anyway. He did what he was supposed to do. He got a life out. And that's only 2 life left with my 3 characters that with 7 Dawn up. So I could have swung 7, even if he had a... See, that's what happened. I decided to swing and not go for game because I just didn't see the line to go for game for some reason. And instead went for this play, got my buggy killed when I could have just swung with the buggy first, played around all of his option cards, and then swung 7, swung 9, and then swung for game with leader. But instead this happens. In a turn I draw 2, and it was 0 counter power. It was a Luffy and an Ivankov, so I have 0 counter power in hand to his 3 attacks. So I pretty much just lose because I didn't think about attacking with buggy first. I decided to play the comma land just because I wanted to. I didn't think I could go for game. But watching it back, I watched it back before this. I realized that just swing buggy, swing 7 with Ivankov. Even if he gets a card in hand, there's no 1 card in the game that beats a 7 swing. And then I put 2 under Ivankov, swing 9. He gets another card. There's no 2 cards in the game that beat a 9, so he gets another card. He has 0 life. He has 3 cards in hand. I swing 10 with leader with the 5 Dawn that's left over. And the most he could do is 2k into 7, 2k into 9, and then another 2k. So you have to rip 3 2ks off of life for me not to have game there. But instead he swings a 9 leader. I have no counter in hand, so I have to take it. 9 Garp. And I, again, have no counter in hand to take it. I actually ripped 2 2k counters out of life, so if I would have kept that Alvida in hand and had an extra Alvida in hand, that would have saved me. So 2 misplays. I played that Alvida, reducing my likelihood to live those attacks. Because if I had 1 more 2k counter and he swung 10 with Kuzan, I just counter out of it with 3 2k counters, the ones I got out of life. Other than that, GG's to that guy. Congrats on winning the tournament. And I'm all about learning, so I'm glad I was able to review this and learn from it. Make sure to subscribe. Thanks, guys.